Ooh, chapter 9.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Vaylin and Aeliana are protagonists. They're on the run from Dark Bliss and his elite force, the Thunder Dogs.
Yep.
Buckle up because we got wormholes.
Maybe there's...
All right, everyone get ready because today...
Hey, everyone. Welcome back. Today we're going to be diving into something pretty interesting, I think. It's a story about a lone capsuleer in EveOnline. And we're going to see if he can actually hack it out there in the vast expanse of New Eden all by himself.
Oh, definitely going to be fascinating, I think. We've got the first 9 chapters of The Lone Capsuleer to work with here, the Omnibus edition, and we're going to see what we can learn about Vaylin Kord, and he's our lone capsuleer in this case. So,
yeah, Vaylin's an interesting character because he lives in this world that's all about alliances, right?
Yeah.
Corporations, capsuleers working together. And yet, he's chosen this path of solitude. He's got incredible skills and commands a fleet of powerful ships. He's amassed a fortune. But all that has come at a cost, right? The cost of being alone, constantly on guard, and never knowing who to trust. It's had to weigh on you after a while, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a key part of his character, you know, this constant paranoia and mistrust. It shapes all of his decisions and makes you wonder, what could push someone to that extreme? The book hints at a betrayal in his past, something that really shattered his faith in others. So instead of joining a corp or relying on anyone, he takes on these dangerous missions alone, venturing into null-sec, which is basically the Wild West of space.
You know, I don't know much about null-sec, but I know it's lawless.
Right.
No concord, no safety net. Anyone can attack you at any time. So why would anyone go there?
Well, it's all about risk and reward, right? Null-sec is packed with valuable resources. There are asteroid belts filled with ore and ice, hidden relic sites that can lead to incredible wealth. But it's also crawling with pirates, rival capsuleers, and these incredibly ancient and powerful AI known as sleepers.
So it's like venturing into the unknown, armed to the teeth and hoping for the best.
Exactly. You got to be prepared for anything in null-sec Vaylin. Vaylin faces sleeper drones, navigates asteroid fields, and even encounters these massive player-built structures called keep stars, which are basically giant space stations controlled by powerful alliances.
Okay, so it's not just about piloting skills. You need to understand the political landscape, too.
Absolutely. One wrong move can lead to devastating losses, even for someone as skilled as Vaylin. And that's what makes his choice of solitude so fascinating.
Right. In a world where information and alliances are key to survival, he's deliberately cut himself off. It's like he's testing himself, pushing his limits to see how far he can go alone.
It's like a self-imposed exile.
Yeah, kind of. Like he's trying to prove something, maybe to himself, maybe to the people who betrayed him. But there's a turning point in the story when he rescues a stranded pilot named Aeliana Soren.
Oh, right. Wait, so he rescues someone. That seems kind of out of character for a lone wolf like him.
Right. It's a moment of compassion, almost unexpected for someone so focused on self-preservation. It reveals a crack in his armor, I think, a glimmer of humanity beneath that hardened exterior. So is he just being kind? Or is there a strategic element to it? Maybe he recognizes the value of an ally, even a temporary one.
I think it's a bit of both. Honestly, Vaylin's motivations are complex and layered. This rescue could be a subconscious desire to break free from his isolation, even if he doesn't fully realize it himself.
Interesting. So where do they go from there?
Their journey takes them through wormholes, these unstable passages to uncharted regions of space. Deep into chapter 9 of Pasted Text.
Ooh, chapter 9.
Yeah, this is a good one.
Yeah.
Vaylin and Aeliana are protagonists. They're on the run From Dark Bliss and his elite force, the Thunder Dogs.
Yep.
Imagine stepping through a portal and ending up in a completely different part of the galaxy. A region where the known laws of physics don't quite apply. That's wormhole space, or W space, as it's known in EVE.
W space. I've heard stories about it, full of these crazy wormhole corporations.
Right?
And even more sleeper drones.
Exactly. It's a wild and unpredictable place, and it's where they stumble upon the wreckage of a Jovian battleship. Now, the Jovians, for those who don't know, are this ancient and incredibly advanced race shrouded in mystery.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to be diving into something pretty interesting, I think. It's a story about a lone capsuleer in EveOnline. And we're going to see if he can actually hack it out there in the vast expanse of New Eden all by himself.
Oh, definitely going to be fascinating, I think. We've got the first 9 chapters of The Lone Capsuleer to work with here, the Omnibus edition, and we're going to see what we can learn about Vaylin Kord, and he's our lone capsuleer in this case. So,
yeah, Vaylin's an interesting character because he lives in this world that's all about alliances, right?
Yeah.
Corporations, capsuleers working together. And yet, he's chosen this path of solitude. He's got incredible skills and commands a fleet of powerful ships. He's amassed a fortune. But all that has come at a cost, right? The cost of being alone, constantly on guard, and never knowing who to trust. It's had to weigh on you after a while, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's a key part of his character, this constant paranoia and mistrust. It shapes all of his decisions and makes you wonder, what could push someone to that extreme? The book hints at a betrayal in his past, something that really shattered his faith in others. So instead of joining a corp or relying on anyone, he takes on these dangerous missions alone, venturing into null-sec, which is basically the Wild West of space.
I don't know much about null-sec, but I know it's lawless.
Right.
No concord, no safety net. Anyone can attack you at any time. So why would anyone go there?
Well, it's all about risk and reward, right? Null-sec is packed with valuable resources. There are asteroid belts filled with ore and ice, hidden relic sites that can lead to incredible wealth. But it's also crawling with pirates, rival capsuleers, and these incredibly ancient and powerful AI known as sleepers.
So it's like venturing into the unknown, armed to the teeth and hoping for the best.
Exactly. You got to be prepared for anything in null-sec Vaylin. Vaylin faces sleeper drones, navigates asteroid fields, and even encounters these massive player-built structures called keep stars, which are basically giant space stations controlled by powerful alliances.
Okay, so it's not just about piloting skills. You need to understand the political landscape, too.
Absolutely. One wrong move can lead to devastating losses, even for someone as skilled as Vaylin. And that's what makes his choice of solitude so fascinating.
Right. In a world where information and alliances are key to survival, he's deliberately cut himself off. It's like he's testing himself, pushing his limits to see how far he can go alone.
It's like a self-imposed exile.
Yeah, kind of. Like he's trying to prove something, maybe to himself, maybe to the people who betrayed him. But there's a turning point in the story when he rescues a stranded pilot named Aeliana Soren.
Oh, right. Wait, so he rescues someone. That seems kind of out of character for a lone wolf like him.
Right. It's a moment of compassion, almost unexpected for someone so focused on self-preservation. It reveals a crack in his armor, I think. A glimmer of humanity beneath that hardened exterior. So is he just being kind? Or is there a strategic element to it? Maybe he recognizes the value of an ally, even a temporary one.
I think it's a bit of both. Honestly, Vaylin's motivations are complex and layered. This rescue could be a subconscious desire to break free from his isolation, even if he doesn't fully realize it himself.
Interesting. So where do they go from there?
Their journey takes them through wormholes, these unstable passages to uncharted regions of space. Imagine stepping through a portal and ending up in a completely different part of the galaxy. A region where the known laws of physics don't quite apply. That's wormhole space, or W space, as it's known in EVE.
W space. I've heard stories about it, full of these crazy wormhole corporations.
Right.
And even more sleeper drones.
Exactly. It's a wild and unpredictable place, and it's where they stumble upon the wreckage of a Jovian battleship. Now, the Jovians, for those who don't know, are this ancient and incredibly advanced race shrouded in mystery. Think of them as the ultimate enigma, technologically superior to everyone else, but completely reclusive, almost mythical.
So like the El Dorado of EVE. Everyone's heard of them, but no one really knows anything about them.
Precisely. Their technology is highly sought after, and their presence always signals a significant shift in the narrative. And in this case, the discovery of this Jovian battleship changes everything for Vaylin. He recovers some of their tech, which draws the attention of another capsuleer, the story's antagonist, a ruthless character named Dark Bliss.
Ah, so that's where the conflict starts.
Exactly. Dark Bliss leads a powerful group called the Thunderdogs, and his pursuit of Vaylin adds this whole other layer of tension to the story. He seems to have vast resources at his disposal and a relentless determination to claim the Jovian technology for himself.
Okay, so we've got a lone wolf, a mysterious relic, and a ruthless antagonist. It's starting to sound like a classic space opera.
It definitely has those elements. The dynamic between Vaylin and Dark Bliss is fascinating. It's a clash of personalities, of philosophies. Vaylin the lone wolf, driven by self-reliance and a thirst for knowledge. Dark Bliss, the ambitious leader willing to use any means necessary to achieve his goals. Their conflict is as much a battle of wills as it is a struggle for survival.
And it all revolves around this Jovian tech.
Exactly. It's the catalyst for the entire story. It represents power knowledge and perhaps even a way to break the cycle of violence and betrayal that defines New Eden.
Wow, so the stakes are pretty high then.
Absolutely. The fate of empires could hang in the balance, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're still in the early chapters of this story. There's a lot more to uncover, a lot more twists and turns to come.
Okay, so let's get back to Vaylin and Aeliana. They're being hunted by Dark Bliss. What do they do?
To escape Dark Bliss, Vaylin and Aeliana use a filament. It's basically a device that teleports ships across vast distances. Imagine being able to jump from one star system to another in an instant. That's what filaments allow capsuleers to do. They end up in a region called Fountain, which is controlled by a powerful alliance.
So they're still in dangerous territory.
Oh, absolutely. They're trying to stay undetected, but Vaylin spots a valuable opportunity, a faction spawn. These are rare encounters with powerful NPC pirates. They're incredibly dangerous, but offer lucrative rewards if you can survive.
So it's another risk versus reward scenario.
Exactly. It's a classic test of Vaylin's mentality. He's already being hunted, yet he can't resist the allure of a potentially valuable prize. It speaks to his confidence in his skills, his willingness to push his limits, and perhaps touch of recklessness.
So he takes it on.
He does. And he manages to take down the faction spawn. But just as he's looting the wreckage, he gets scanned down by none other than Dark Bliss and his crew. Talk about bad luck.
Wow, that's some terrible timing.
The tension in that scene is palpable. You can practically feel the walls closing in on them. Their escape is daring, a testament to Vaylin's quick thinking and piloting skills. But the encounter makes it clear that Dark Bliss is not going to let this go. He's become a looming threat, promising to hunt them down wherever they go.
So they're back to square one.
Pretty much. They find themselves back in Fountain, just a few jumps from Dark Bliss's home system. Their filaments are gone, so their choices are to run the gauntlet through stargates, hoping to avoid enemy patrols or find a wormhole to escape.
Okay, so stargates are predictable, which makes them easy to camp. But wormholes are inherently unstable, leading to unknown and potentially hostile territory. It's a classic dilemma.
Right.
Fight or flight. Each choice carrying potentially fatal consequences. What would you do?
It's a tough call, isn't it? Each option presents its own set of risks. Running through stargates is like trying to outrun a predator in a straight line. You might be faster, but they know where you're going. Wormholes, on the other hand, are like stepping into the unknown. You might find safety, or you might stumble into an even greater danger.
So what do?
They choose a bit of both. They take on a vagabond in a one-on-one fight. showcasing Vaylin's piloting skills even as his resources dwindle. But they eventually find a wormhole, hoping it'll lead them to safer territory.
Does it?
That's where things take a dramatic turn. Instead of returning to known space, they end up in Jovian space, a region so mysterious and dangerous that even the most experienced capsuleers fear to tread. Remember we talked about the Jovians being this technologically advanced and reclusive race? Well, now Vaylin and Aeliana are right on their doorstep.
Okay. Now that's a game changer.
It raises the stakes considerably. We've gone from a personal vendetta to a situation that could have galaxy-wide implications. Remember that Jovian tech Vaylin salvaged earlier? Well, it turns out to be even more significant than they initially realized. It might hold the key to understanding the Jovians' disappearance and perhaps even harnessing their advanced technology.
This is getting really interesting. So what happens in Jovian space?
They managed to salvage a Jovian battleship, acquiring incredibly valuable technology, but they also attract the attention of the Jovians themselves. They're forced to escape using another filament, but end up right back in Fountain, practically on Dark Bliss's doorstep. Talk about bad luck.
It seems like they can't catch a break.
It seems fate, or perhaps the relic itself, has other plans for them. They're trapped hunted by the Thunderdogs with limited options for escape. This sets the stage for a tense and dramatic showdown, and that brings us to Chapter 7. The capacitor is empty, where things get really intense.
The capacitor is empty. Okay, that sounds ominous. What happens?
They're cornered in the dead-end system. Vaylin's ship is crippled, and Dark Bliss's fleet is closing in.
Oh, no.
You see, in EveOnline, every ship has a capacitor, which is essentially its energy reserve. It powers weapon shields and other systems. When the capacitor is empty, you're vulnerable.
So they're defenseless.
Pretty much. It's a brilliant title for this chapter because it perfectly captures the sense of desperation Vaylin and Aeliana are feeling. They're out of options, out of energy, and facing imminent capture.
This doesn't sound good. But Vaylin always seems to find a way out, right?
He does. He uses an ECM burst, which disrupts enemy targeting systems to buy himself a few precious seconds. Then he deploys a decoy, sending the Thunderdogs on a wild goose chase, while he and Aeliana make their escape.
That's thinking on his feet. That's pretty impressive.
It's a testament to his quick thinking and tactical brilliance. He utilizes his knowledge of technology and the game's mechanics to outwit his pursuers. It's also where we see Aeliana stepping up her role, evolving from damsel in distress to a capable partner.
They make a good team then.
They're starting to. They make it back to Empire space, which is basically the safer, more civilized regions of New Eden. But Vaylin, driven by curiosity and perhaps a sense of unfinished business, decides to return to Jovian space. He wants to understand the relic he's acquired to uncover the secrets it holds.
So he's not giving up on the Jovian mystery.
Not at all. It's a classic hero's journey, wouldn't you say? He's faced with danger, tempted by wealth, but ultimately drawn towards something greater, something he doesn't fully understand. And Aeliana, despite her initial reluctance, chooses to follow him. This speaks volumes about the trust that's developed between them. She's no longer just along for the ride. She's an active participant in this quest, sharing the risks and the potential rewards.
So they go back to Jovian space. What happens there?
They navigate a maze of wormholes and dangerous encounters, eventually reaching a Jovian archive, an ancient structure that responds to the relic Vaylin carries. But just as they gain access, they're discovered by Dark Bliss, who's tracked them across vast distances.
He's relentless.
Absolutely. It raises an important question. How much of this is chance, and how much is orchestrated by forces beyond their comprehension? Is the relic guiding Vaylin, or is he being manipulated? Is this all part of some grand design?
Those are some good questions. I don't know if we have the answers yet.
Maybe not, but the story's giving us clues. They fight off Jovian defenses, only to discover that Dark Bliss has called in his elite corporation, the Thunderdogs, led by a pilot named Winky Kinky.
So now it's a full-on corporate assault.
It's an escalation of the conflict from a personal vendetta to a full-on corporate assault. The stakes are rising rapidly. Vaylin and Aeliana are now facing an organized force known for its brutality and efficiency. It's a classic David and Goliath scenario, with our protagonist outmatched in terms of resources but holding a unique advantage, the Jovian relic and its unknown powers.
Okay, so what happens? Do they manage to fight their way out?
Just when all hope seems lost, the relic activates. Remember, this relic seems to have a connection to the Jovians, to their technology, to this entire region of space. And as it activates, something incredible happens. New wormholes open, shimmering gateways that lead even deeper into Jovian inner space. It's as if the relic itself is responding to their plight, offering them a way out.
Wow, talk about a last-minute save.
It's a brilliant narrative choice, isolating them further, emphasizing their reliance on each other and the mysterious relic. This is where we leave Vaylin and Aeliana at the end of Part 1, stranded in uncharted territory pursued by the Thunderdogs with the relic as their only guide. Dark Bliss has given Vaylin an ultimatum: surrender the Jovian artifacts or face the full might of his corporation.
So that's the setup. We've got a lone wolf capsuleer, a mysterious relic, a ruthless antagonist, and a journey into the most dangerous and enigmatic region of space in the EVE universe. What happens next?
Well, for that, you'll have to join us for Part 2 of our deep dive into the lone capsuleer. Last time we left Vaylin and Aeliana right, jumping into a wormhole, heading deeper into Jovian inner space with the Thunderdogs on their tail. It's a pretty desperate situation.
Yeah, it doesn't sound too good for them. Hey, maybe the relic will save them again. It seems to have a knack for showing up at the right moment.
It's true. The relic has been a guiding force throughout their journey, but this time they're venturing into truly uncharted territory. Jovian inner space is a place where the known laws of physics seem to break down. Even the most experienced capsuleers avoid it. So who knows what they'll encounter there?
Well, the book describes their surroundings as incredibly strange and beautiful, crystalline asteroids, nebulae with these vibrant colors, and these weird gravitational anomalies that mess with their ship's systems. It sounds almost surreal.
It's like they've crossed into a different dimension, a place where the Jovians' technology has merged with the very fabric of space-time. But amidst all this beauty, there's an underlying tension, a sense that they're being watched, tested.
Yeah, I bet Vaylin's paranoia is going through the roof right now. Remember how uncomfortable he was back in Jeddah, surrounded by all those people? Imagine how he feels now, alone in this strange and potentially hostile environment with a ruthless enemy on his tail.
It's gotta be messing with him. But at the same time, I think there's a part of him that thrives on this, you know? Pushing boundaries, testing limits. He's like an explorer venturing into the unknown, driven by a thirst for knowledge and a need to prove himself.
And Aeliana, how's she handling all of this?
She's grown a lot since we first met her. Remember, she was a stranded pilot Vaylin rescued. Now she's a vital part of their survival, providing tactical support and piloting skills. Their bond has been forged in the crucible of danger, and it's become something deeper. A true partnership.
I like that their relationship has evolved alongside the story. So where does this journey into Jovian inner space lead them?
To a massive Jovian station described as an archive, a repository of knowledge and technology. Imagine a library containing the accumulated wisdom of an entire civilization. A civilization that mastered genetic engineering, transcended physical limitations, and achieved a level of technological prowess that dwarfs anything known in New Eden.
Wow, it's like stumbling upon the Library of Alexandria in space.
Exactly. But with the added danger of being hunted by a ruthless capsuleer and his corporation, remember, Dark Bliss is still on their trail, and he is not going to rest until he gets his hands on that Jovian tech.
Right. So they're racing against time, trying to unlock the secrets of the archive before Dark Bliss catches up to them.
Exactly. And the tension builds as they get closer to their goal. They manage to access the station, but the moment they step inside, alarms blare. It's a trap.
Oh no, Dark Bliss was waiting for them.
He anticipated their move and was waiting for them with the Thunderdogs. They swarm the station, cutting off any escape routes.
So they're trapped.
It seems that way. Outnumbered, outgunned, surrounded by enemies. What do you think they do?
Surrender.
Vaylin's not the type to give up easily. He's got a plan.
Of course he does. What is it?
He activates the station's defenses, turning the Jovian technology against his attackers. Imagine security drones, automated turrets, and energy fields, all controlled by a sophisticated AI designed to repel intruders.
Now, that's using your enemy's strength against them.
What? The station becomes a battleground with Vaylin and Aeliana fighting alongside these ancient defenses to hold back the Thunderdogs.
So they're not just fighting for survival. They're fighting for knowledge, too.
Right.
To understand the secrets of the Jovians.
Exactly. And as they fight, they delve deeper into the archive, uncovering its secrets. What they find is truly astounding. It's not just weapons technology or blueprints for advanced ships. It's knowledge, a deep understanding of the universe of consciousness, of existence itself.
Okay, now we're getting into some heady stuff. This is bigger than just a fight for survival. This is about unlocking the secrets of a lost civilization, perhaps even the secrets of the universe itself.
Exactly, and it makes you wonder, what were the Jovians trying to achieve? Why did they isolate themselves? What did they know that we don't?
But let's not forget about the Thunderdogs. They're still a threat, right?
They are. And despite their ferocity and determination, they're no match for the station's defenses. They suffer heavy losses and their attack stalls. But Dark Bliss, ever persistent, refuses to give up. He orders his elite pilots, led by Winky Kinky, to press the attack to break through at any cost.
It's getting pretty intense. I imagine Vaylin and Aeliana are starting to feel the pressure.
The situation is becoming critical. They're running out of time and options.
So what happens? Do they make it out alive?
Just when all hope seems lost, the relic activates. Remember, this relic seems to have a connection to the Jovians, to their technology, to this entire region of space, and as it activates, something incredible happens. New wormholes open, shimmering gateways that lead even deeper into Jovian inner space.
Wait, so the relic saves them again?
It seems that way. It's as if the relic itself is responding to their plight, offering them a way out. They escape through these new wormholes, leaving the Thunderdogs stranded in the collapsing station.
Wow. Talk about a close call. But they're not out of the woods yet, are they? They're even deeper into Jovian inner space now, further from familiar territory, and still pursued by a relentless enemy.
Their journey is far from over, but they've proven their resilience. They've survived encounters with sleepers, pirates, the Thunderdogs, and even the Jovians themselves, and they've gained knowledge and technology that could change the balance of power in New Eden.
So what happens next? What new challenges await them in the depths of Jovian inner space?
We'll have to wait for part 3 to find out.
So last time, Vaylin and Aeliana escaped through a wormhole, right? Deeper into Jovian inner space. It's a pretty risky move, considering they're still being hunted by Dark Bliss and his Thunderdogs.
Oh, absolutely. It's like jumping from the frying pan into the fire. But remember, they're not just running, they're being guided by the relic. And it's led them to some pretty incredible discoveries so far.
That's true. And speaking of discoveries, what do they find in this even deeper part of Jovian inner space?
Well, the book describes it as this breathtaking symphony of light and energy, crystalline structures that pulse with light, nebulae swirling with colors, these strange gravity-defying anomalies that tug at their ship. It's almost like they've entered another dimension.
It sounds beautiful, but also kind of terrifying, you know? Being in a place where the laws of physics don't quite apply. I bet Vaylin's loving it, though.
Yeah.
Always pushing the limits, testing the boundaries.
He's definitely in his element here. But even he must be feeling the pressure. Right, they're still being hunted by a ruthless enemy. And now they're in this incredibly strange and potentially hostile environment. It's got to be messing with his head.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the paranoia he must be feeling. But hey, at least he's got Aeliana with him now.
Right.
They become a pretty good team. They have. Their bond has been forged in danger, and it's evolved into something deeper, a true partnership based on mutual respect and trust.
So where does the relic lead them next? To a structure of incredible scale and complexity, a Jovian shipyard dormant for centuries, but still pulsating with this latent energy that hints at its former power. And within its depths, they discover something truly remarkable, an intact Eidolon battleship.
An Eidolon. Wow, those are like the holy grail of EveOnline.
Yeah.
Ships of unimaginable power, capable of warping space-time, wielding weapons that can shatter planets.
Exactly. And Vaylin stumbled upon one intact and seemingly ready to be claimed. But, as you might expect, such a discovery comes with its own set of challenges.
Yeah, I was going to say, it can't be that easy, right?
Definitely not. Their presence triggers the shipyard's defenses, and they find themselves face-to-face with the Drifters.
Oh, no. Not the Drifters.
Yeah, the Drifters. They're enigmatic and immensely powerful entities, shrouded in mystery, even more so than the Jovians. Some believe they're the descendants of the Jovians. Others think there's something else entirely. But one thing's for sure. They're a force to be reckoned with.
So what happens? Do they fight?
They have no choice. The Drifters attack, and Vaylin and Aeliana are forced to defend themselves. It's a desperate battle, a dance on the edge of annihilation. They utilize every ounce of their skill and cunning, pushing their ship to its limits to survive.
It sounds intense. Do they manage to defeat the Drifters?
They're not able to defeat them, but they do manage to escape with a valuable prize.
What do they get?
A fragment of Drifter technology, a piece of the puzzle that could be even more valuable than the Eidolon itself. It might hold the key to understanding the Drifters, their connection to the Jovians, and perhaps even their motives.
So they escape with this incredible piece of technology, but they're still deep in Jovian inner space.
Right.
And Dark Bliss is still out there somewhere.
He is. And they know he won't give up until he gets his hands on the Jovian tech. So they have a choice to make. Do they stay in Jovian inner space and risk running into Dark Bliss again? Or do they use their remaining filaments to return to known space?
It's a tough choice. The unknown versus the known.
Yeah.
But both options are dangerous.
Exactly. And it's a decision that will have major consequences for Vaylin and Aeliana.
So what do they choose?
They decide to use a filament, hoping to buy themselves some time and distance from Dark Bliss, but fate, it seems, has other plans. The filament malfunctions, and instead of taking them to a safe location, it spits them out right back in Fountain closer to Dark Bliss's home system than ever before.
Oh no, talk about bad luck.
It's a devastating setback. They're trapped out of options with a formidable enemy closing in.
So what do?
Vaylin comes up with a plan, a desperate gamble, but it's their only hope.
What's the plan?
He knows that Dark Bliss is obsessed with the Jovian technology, that he'll stop at nothing to obtain it, so he decides to use that obsession against him.
Okay, how does he do that?
He sends Aeliana in a small, inconspicuous ship on a series of carefully planned jumps, creating a false trail, a digital breadcrumb that leads Dark Bliss and his Thunderdogs on a wild goose chase across Fountain.
So it's a diversion.
Exactly. While Aeliana's leading Dark Bliss away, Vaylin cloaks his ship using technology salvaged from the Jovian battleship. He waits patiently for Dark Bliss to take the bait, to commit his forces to chasing Aeliana.
So it's all about timing.
It's a risky plan, but if it works, it'll give them a chance to escape.
And does it work?
Dark Bliss takes the bait. He falls for the diversion, hook, line, and sinker. He sends his entire fleet after Aeliana, while Vaylin waits in the shadows.
So what happens next?
When Dark Bliss's fleet is fully committed to chasing, Aeliana Vaylin makes his move. He uncloaks, appearing seemingly out of nowhere right in the heart of Dark Bliss's home system.
Wow! He's going right into the lion's den.
He launches a surprise attack, targeting their infrastructure, disrupting their operations, sowing chaos in their ranks. He's not trying to defeat them, he's trying to distract them, to create enough confusion to allow Aeliana to escape.
It's a brilliant tactic, turning the tables on his pursuer, striking at the heart of their power. But is it enough?
It is. His attack is a success. Dark Bliss, enraged and humiliated, is forced to recall his forces to defend their home territory. Aeliana, seizing the opportunity created by Vaylin's diversion, slips through their grasp and escapes into null-sec.
She got away.
She did. And Vaylin cloaks once more, vanishing into the vastness of space, leaving Dark Bliss with nothing but a burning sense of vengeance and a trail of shattered pride.
That's incredible. They actually pulled it off. But it's a bittersweet victory, right? They've lost the Jovian relic, their ship is damaged, and they're once again on the run.
It's true. They've paid a heavy price for their freedom, but they've survived. They've proven their resilience and their ingenuity, and they've shown us that even in the face of overwhelming odds, the human spirit, the will to survive, can prevail.
So that's the story of Vaylin Kord, the lone capsuleer. A tale of daring escapes incredible discoveries and the relentless pursuit of knowledge in the face of overwhelming odds.
It's a story that reminds us that even in a universe as vast and complex as EveOnline, there's still room for individual brilliance, for cunning and courage, and for the triumph of the human spirit.
And that's it for our deep dive into the lone capsuleer. Thanks for listening.